Donny, your harness has been completed. Let me just go through it with you a little bit here. So let's start in the front. Not every connector has been replaced. They weren't all needing to be replaced. So what's happened here is your idle control valve used to run underneath your intake manifold. That has now been rerouted to this side of the motor. Okay, it just makes things a whole lot neater. It's basically the same format as what you would find on like a 1997 model non-VVTi 1UZ. Okay, your coil connector has not been replaced. Your EFI water temp sensor has. Okay, this one is for your gauge for your cluster. You can see here you've got the flat blade terminal connector on there. That's why I haven't plugged it in. It doesn't make any difference for the startup video anyway. Okay, so that's about it. You've got another one in here that is for your cold start timer. Okay, I don't have that on this motor because this is indeed a 95 motor, right? This is a piece that we add in. This goes down and plugs into the back of your alternator. Okay, you'll see here I've put on a oval connector. Okay, I know yours takes a round connector. We don't stock the round connectors. It's usually what the guys do is they actually just replace the alternator because, you know, these alternators are generally, you know, sort of over 23 years old. So yeah, it may be an idea. Otherwise, if you don't want to, then just change that back, or not back, but change it to the 3-pin connector, the round connector. If you do that, just get hold of me and I will tell you exactly what pins are, what needs to be connected to which pins. Up here, all of your injector connectors have been replaced. So that all came out nice and neat. There was a lot of cracking in your plastic covers. I've basically taped it, so they are very sturdy. It's not an issue. Yeah, once you bolt it all down, everything's going to stay exactly in place, so you don't have to worry about that. Big thick red cable coming out of the back, that goes directly to your battery positive. That is your main power supply for the whole system. Coming off here, you have an earth strap. You've actually got one on the back of each cylinder head, so make sure that those two are tight. Okay, and then coming down here, it goes down to your oxygen sensor, right bank. Make sure that is, I don't know what your plan is with your manifolds. Just make sure whatever you do there, that these are clear from all of the heat. Okay, coming down here, you got another T-piece. This obviously bolts onto your bracketry on your tappet cover or your valve cover. Okay, this T-piece over here goes to your igniters and then to your airflow meter. Now your igniters, it's preferable not to bolt them onto the motor like I do here because, you know, this is just a start stand. You don't want heat conductivity from the motor to the igniters. The igniters generate quite a lot of heat just on their own, so the last thing you want to do is actually apply more heat to them. But it is very important that the bracket itself has got a earth, because it does rely, the two ignition modules actually rely on the earth from the bracketry. So just make sure that that is connected or got an earth, otherwise it's going to give you a code 14 and a code 15 and it's going to start and die. Okay, coming around here, what I've done here is you've got a different connector on the back here. These are for your 2 knock sensors and for your starter solenoid. I've just put in a temporary bridge connector because my plug is different. Okay, and I haven't bothered connecting up the 2 knock sensors because it's not necessary on the test run. Okay, again, here is the other earth strap, and exactly the same thing again. You've got your O2 sensor for the left bank. Okay, all of your injector connectors on the side have been replaced. Okay, and then here I've got another 2 bridge connectors because I've got a 4-pin on this motor and you've got a 2-pin. Nothing wrong with your connector here, so that has not been replaced. And your 6-pin connector for your crank sensor and your cam sensors, that has not been replaced. This is an add-on that we put in. This goes down to your oil pressure switch. So it goes down and plugs into there. Basically the same thing here. You've probably got a single flat blade switch on there. The flat blade was discontinued basically in 93, 94, somewhere there, and then it went to a proper went to a sensor with a proper, with a proper connector instead of just a rubber grommet over it. So you may want to buy one of those. They're like $5 on Amazon. They're not expensive. If you need the part numbers there, then you just give me a shout and I will send that over to you. That is about it. I'm going to put on the intake manifold. I see that you sent us your igniters and whatnot. That'll be in your box when you get your stuff back, as well as a client plug. Now, here's actually your client plug. So very, very easy. This basically plugs into your engine harness. So as it goes past the grommet that goes through your firewall, you'll see there's a split. The one split goes to your client plug and the other one goes through to your ECU. ECU really looks nice. Yeah, I haven't run it yet, but I'm pretty sure that, like, these 91 ECUs very rarely give a problem. They're actually pretty good. Here's your client plug that you're going to be connecting. So this is basically a pigtail that you're going to connect to your vehicle. Starting on the side, you got your fuel, ignition, start, rev counter, oil light, sorry, not oil light, temperature gauge, oil light, and then charge light. And then on the last row, or the bottom row over here, you've got ACMG and AC. Okay, that's just for your idle up on your air conditioner. There are better ways of doing idle up, okay? I can explain that to you. So if you do, most people don't even bother connecting it. It doesn't really bog down the motor that bad. But if you do want to have a idle up on your air conditioner, then you just give me a shout and I will explain exactly there what to do. But yeah, I wouldn't use ACMG and AC. We just wire it in case the guys want it. Okay, so yeah, I'll put on the throttle body for you and the air intake pipe, and then we'll roll from there. Okay, so I've put on the throttle body. I've put on the air intake pipe, plugged in the airflow meter, and we should be all set to go. Obviously make sure, when you do yours, just make sure that all the vacuums are closed and so on and so forth. You don't want any air leakage, so pipes like that and that, all of that there should be sealed off. If you've removed your EGR, then just make sure when you take this off, just make sure that this pipe over here goes to your PCV valve. It's very important to keep your engine block clean. So make sure that passageway is open. The other two pipes, or the other two holes, can obviously need to be closed off. But if your EGR delete kit does not have that little nipple there, that tube, then you just install one, drill a hole through it, put a compressor fitting or whatever. Yeah, that's important to have. But yeah, let me give her a start here. So we'll switch on ignition. She runs cool. I don't want to run it long. I really need to get a radiator and whatnot installed on these, and some silencers would be great. But yeah, no, she runs good. If you've got any questions at all, then you just give me a shout. But yeah, it should be smooth sailing for you.